Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. We are back.
Yes, we are back. So another exciting episode today. And I guess we should let everybody know, right?
I think we should.
We should. Okay. So little secret. This is actually a pre-recorded show because I'm going to be on an airplane. But that being said, definitely want you guys to interact. Let us know where you're joining us from. I will probably be on my Wi-Fi on the airplane chiming in, but could you imagine me, by the way, trying to record this on a plane?
I think we should. We talk about planes so much. We should see how strong the Wi-Fi is.
Yeah.
And can you record an episode on the plane? But I love our dedication to this because our viewers and our listeners, we love interacting with you, especially on the live shows. But listen, we'll be messaging you as this goes on. We'll all be watching it together still.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's probably also a better background to do this than on the plane. You know, can you imagine? Oh, okay. We won't do that. Oh my gosh, that's just ridiculous.
But can I tell you something else I saw today that I actually posted on LinkedIn is that to get in the top 1% of all podcasts in the world, you have to have 21 episodes done. So we are staying consistent to it. We are going to get to that 21 and continue on and be in the top 1%, maybe in top 0.5% by the time we're done.
That's like how long it takes to form a habit, 21 days. So
that's
now
what they say. Most people can't even get there. They say like 90% can't even get to 20. So
wow,
we're staying consistent for you all listening.
Very much staying consistent. So love that. Well, why don't we go ahead and dive in? Because we've got a lot of fun topics today. Mm-hmm. And I know that we were just chatting right before this about some of these ideas. And, you know, Steve was like, oh, yeah, I'm already all over this.
Especially the first one.
Yeah, this first one. Okay, so Kimpton actually recently announced that they are doing a partnership with Anthropology on a new accessory borrowing option that they're offering. And what actually, by the way, I love what they're calling it. So they're calling it Forget It. Oh my gosh, that was going to be so good if I nailed it.
And go.
Forgot it. We've got it. There you go. Second time's a charm. But it's super cool because it's basically they partner with Anthropology to give people items that they might have forgotten when they are traveling. I don't know how many of you guys have been traveling and they're like, oh my gosh, I so wish I packed a belt. I didn't pack a belt. Or, you know, for women, like, oh, I wish I had a different bag or bracelets, different things like that, that I think is really neat. But Steve, what are you thinking about this?
Listen, I love this so much, especially because every brand of hotel can team up with another kind of brand that's in retail. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I really wanted to do, I was just talking with this with a friend. And if I was still working in a hotel, the phone calls I'd be making is to Williams Sonoma. And to get all of their plates and silverware and stuff on my buffets with little like QR codes.
Yep.
And you could scan it, buy it directly, ship it to your house, and the hotel gets the affiliate code promotion. So they're making some revenue off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's so many cool things that brands can do to really just find a new revenue stream, but also give value to their customers and just like try out different things that are new and exciting. So it's always fresh when you're visiting.
Definitely. Well, and I really think tapping into the like forgotten items part of travel is huge because and this obviously like with Anthropology, considering the brand, it's certainly going to be a little bit more, you know, clothing centric, etc. But I mean, how many people forget chargers or other things? And some hotels definitely have this, but is there a fun way that you can offer it?
Yes.
So that is, I think, where it ends up being really pretty neat. And it does remind me because actually prior to the pandemic, there were actually a couple of different clothing companies that were offering this where you could kind of pre-select your clothing. It would almost be like Rent the Runway meets
Yes.
travel. So for those that might not be familiar, so that might be more of the gentleman tuning in. Unless Steve, you're into
I
this.
know what it is. I heard
figured you
how I built this podcast on Rent the Runway. I heard about
Yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah.
so Rent the Runway, for those that don't know, is basically it's like a clothing rental company. They obviously primarily work, with women just because women are more comfortable with that. But basically you can choose different dresses, outfits, all that. Now there were other companies that were doing this and then they would send the items to your destination. So you didn't even necessarily have to pack a larger bag. You could just wear it there and then literally put the sticker on it and send it right back in the mail after wearing it when you're on your trip. So how can we have more of these type of options in hotels? Because I think it just is such a unique thing.
Yes, I love it. And I was just like saying before, each brand of hotel can really team up with something that mirrors their brand. But the other part which I like is that running retail in hotels is really hard. It's not easy. So
Yeah.
after the pandemic, I somehow became in charge of all the retail in addition to all the food and beverage and recreation. So I'm like running a retail store, don't know what I'm doing with millions of dollars in inventory, had to figure it out.
Yeah.
But this makes it easy to where you can team up with a brand that knows what's going to be selling, has the data to be able to say, here are the most popular things you should carry, and don't have to really think about it. So I really think that this could be something that hotels and even restaurants and other hospitality companies can tap into with the right brands and to make sure your guests have a great experience. So I think this is going to be well received, and I'm excited to see how it does. We got to follow up on this one.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely have to follow up on. And by the way, also really good choice of branding partnership as well. Kimpton, if you're familiar with the Kimpton brand, to partner with Anthropology, it just makes sense. It fits. So will also be interesting to see like how, just how it'll evolve.
They were just saying because it started in the UK. And I'm curious to see when it starts coming over to the US. I haven't seen it yet, but like they have QR codes which direct guests to online catalogs that allows them to browse, borrow, and then purchase items directly there. So I think it made it very easy user experience.
Totally love that. So let us know, by the way, in the comments, have you seen this before? Are you seeing this with other hotel brands? Who is doing this, or what would you like to see as well too? Because I think we can put it out there, those dream sort of partnerships.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like I like that one for the restaurants. You got the pool and beach ones that are really cool.
I'm into
like
that.
Some cool city ones. Like I think it's, you have so many different options. I'm excited to see what people create with this.
Totally. All right. Why don't we go ahead, switch gears on to our next topic here, which is kind of interesting. So it's come out. So the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, super fascinating and fun. Wow. But they actually came out and they said that U.S. hotels are still adding workers, but at a slower pace. So they just revealed this past Friday that hotels are adding roughly about 6,700 jobs in October, which is down from about 11,700 in September. So in general, the employment sector is about almost 10% below February 2020 levels, which is interesting. But hey, we've definitely bounced back quite significantly, but we're still not quite to where we were before just yet. But what are you seeing?
Well, on the streets, I get to work with a lot of different hotels and I get to talk to a lot of different people. And I think it's a mix of things. There's people finally getting back because there's a lot more flexibility in hotels. The training is starting to come back to certain hotel brands, not all of them, but certain ones. And they're allowing people to live a life outside the hotel. And so these are the companies that are really getting those hires because everyone wants to work there. But then there's other hotels that are not doing these things. They're sticking to the same old, and it's getting tough for them. And since they're not investing in the people there, they don't want to be there. And they're still very short-staffed. And people who want to get back in the industry want to go back to a place where their life is going to be better and not miss everything in their life. So I'm curious to see where it goes. And then there's just a lot of people who tell me they're applying and getting no answers from anybody.
Right?
So like you still have a bunch of people who want to get in, And I think it's a mix of, some of them really want high paying salaries that are ultra competitive that they're just not getting. But then there's others that are just ready to go and they're not getting in. So I was a big believer in hiring fast and then firing fast. So
yeah.
I think we got hotels that are still thinking like, oh, I'm going to interview 100 people and choose one and see how it goes. But they're stressing out their team while these jobs are still open. So I don't know. What do you see?
Well, you brought up, I think, what I personally think is the most important thing in all of this. Well, second most important. The most important thing is training, in that we have to acknowledge that the workforce has changed, whether you've got more people that might be on the older end, and this is like another chapter in their work life, or whether you're hiring, younger generations and they've never worked in hospitality. The point is that you have people that are new to the industry and they need some form of guidance. You don't have to go crazy, but investing in a little bit of hospitality training sets the tone. It also welcomes them into the family. They feel like they're part of something. And there's definitely been studies that have shown that if companies invest in hospitality training, that there's a higher employee retention rate because they get it. They're like into the whole fabric of the company. So that's the number one. But the number two is what you mentioned, and I feel so strongly about this because anybody that's worked in hospitality understands how this goes, is understanding the changing needs of your new employees, in the sense that we're no longer living in the day and age where it's like, oh, you need to be available to work any and all times.
Right.
Like, you have to understand that people have lives. They've got families, they've got kids. Maybe they're taking classes. Maybe there's whatever it might be. So long as you can kind of work with your employees on their schedule so that they can have that better work-life balance, again, you set the tone and you have higher employee retention rates for sure with that. So that's definitely a big thing. But, kind of going back to the start of this topic, this is not to like make us feel, bad for the fact that the hiring rate has slowed. Keep in mind, this has slowed kind of all around the U.S. in various sectors. So we're just kind of in this slow period. It's leading up to the holidays. People, I think, are, figuring out budgets for next year. So it kind of makes sense that it slowed down a bit.
Yeah, I can see it. What I would like to see too, because we were talking backstage about AI and using things that way.
Yes.
I saw like LinkedIn came out with some new tool that they're starting to unveil for AI to help people match jobs easier. So you don't have to
Love that.
see thousands of applications come through. Because I posted a job for a vacation rental job that we were looking for, and hundreds of people who were not qualified by any means applied. So it's so hard to go through that and find the right person. And so I talked to a lot of HR directors, and it's still like that. So I think those tools, and I hope it doesn't filter out people that maybe are qualified, but I think those tools will be a lot easier because there's so many people applying for these jobs that you can't find the right person. So I think there's a lot of stuff that can be done, but I think most importantly is keep applying if you're looking for a job. Stay focused on the places you want to work, connect with people that are already in those hotels you want to work at. And worst case, you call Sarah and I, and we'll see what we can do with you.
Give us a call. Totally give us a call. We probably know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
Yes. Especially if you're a listener out there, we'll definitely help you.
Totally. All right. So why don't we kind of talk about what's happening in the world of travel? Thought this was pretty interesting. I don't know if you've seen this happen in person yet, Steve, or experienced it, but there are a growing number of U.S. airports that are now allowing non-travelers beyond TSA, the security. And I think this is great because, as we all know, pretty much from 2001, after that, it was like, if you don't have a plane ticket, you are not coming in. But there have been some changes, and it's interesting because it's actually not even that new, like not this year, like Pittsburgh International Airport. They started this in 2017. I think they suspended it, but they were definitely doing it. The Philadelphia Airport just started doing it. And it's interesting because, like, if you want to go in, you basically apply for a pass and, like, you say the day, et cetera, whatever. And then they go ahead and they basically give you like a day pass. And they approve you based off of, I guess they do like a little bit of stalking a background check. But have you seen this yet?
I haven't, but when I saw this come up in our feed to talk about it today, it got me excited because one of my fondest memories as a kid was flying into Charlotte and seeing my grandfather and grandmother waiting for me at the gate with like their little sign welcoming us, and just like I miss that, right? Like you don't have that. And sometimes like you might go with a friend to go grab a drink before their flight because they know they're going to be delayed 3 hours there. So I think it could be something interesting, especially if airports look at this in a revenue way, because you have all these guests that are coming in. Maybe they can hang out in a different way while people are waiting to leave and have some upgraded amenities and restaurants. And I know all the lounges we talked about are full already anyway. So
but it's
see what happens.
Exactly. And it's not necessarily, obviously not for the lounges, but like all these airports have definitely invested in having better restaurants, better options. So, I mean, you might as well, if you can have people come in. Look, not everybody's going to do it. Not every day at the airport isn't always like, oh, gotta go to the airport instead of hanging out at the mall. Like,
but some of those airports are really nice. Like Miami Airport's got some cool stuff in the right terminal. Some terminals are terrible. I'm sure there's some things like like LaGuardia's new terminal was really cool and had a lot of cool local restaurants.
Yep.
So I don't know. They could convince me for a day maybe to hang out if they're pitching it the right way.
I know. So, and then for anybody that, by the way, anyone that's watching, let us know, have you experienced this yet and or seen it? So they're doing it in Seattle, New Orleans, Detroit, Santa Ana by me, Tulsa. So it's happening in a couple of different airports. I'm curious to see if, Orlando as well too. I think that's really smart. So again, nice to see. And I love, by the way, Steve, that memory that you brought up, because I remember that too.
Yeah, it's like special. Now you don't have it anymore.
No.
I wait for you outside in the car. Everyone's honking. I was like, oh man, this is crazy out here. You gotta throw your bag in that car before everyone runs you over.
Yeah. Oh, like get in and get out.
Yeah. Move.
Wow, such a fun experience.
Yeah.
But also interesting, since we are talking about the TSA, this was a really cool article I came across. The weirdest things that are completely acceptable to bring on the plane with you. Okay, so I definitely want to hear who's brought something like through TSA that's something unusual that they've brought on the plane with them. I will say one. So I bought a candle, actually. And I know that is kind of weird, but it's
you could. It's not on fire.
No. Yeah. No, but they looked at it. They definitely looked at it. And I was like, it smells really nice. And that's what, let me take this candle home with me. They looked at it, but they let me take it through. But wait, what's the weirdest thing that you've taken? Is there anything weird?
Yeah. Oh, that's weird, but my wife did it for me. I thought I was very appreciative. She's from Philly and she brought me home some official Philly cheesesteaks from one of the restaurants there. And I'm sure it made her bag smell not great, but she brought it home for me. So I think that's a little out there. Like bringing some food from an iconic location could be, but I'm not bringing weapons or like this person bringing in antlers.
No.
Or artificial skeletons.
No.
Right. There's some other people bringing in like all different kind of fake looking weapons, which never get on, but hair wax. I didn't know was like a weird thing to bring in. Like, look at my hair, guys. If you see, some hair wax in there.
You got some hair wax, definitely. That's a no. I know, but it's funny. So this article talked about different things like accordions. Like obviously, musical instruments are a thing. I mean, you don't think about it unless you're a musician. Stringed instruments you can take with you. I know this. My aunt's a professional violinist, but if you play brass instruments, let's say a trombone, saxophone, that actually has to go underneath. Accordions. I don't know about you, but I travel with my accordion all the time.
I can see you playing that nice French romantic music on the accordion. I could see you doing it.
Oh my gosh, but they require special screening. This is so funny. Slime is a no. Who is traveling with slime?
My son probably. They have this like thing with slime now, these kids. They all want to play with slime and it gets everywhere. I don't understand. It was cool when I watched Nickelodeon back in the day, but now it's everywhere.
Yeah, it is everywhere. I mean, it's like that it's definitely a reminder. Small wedding cakes can go, but not big wedding cakes.
So what's small or big? We've seen, you and I have seen some crazy big ones. Maybe that's small for somebody.
Exactly.
One layer.
Yeah, 100%. So it's just bizarre. But what's so cool about this? Okay, now we were talking obviously about all like the weird things, but TSA has actually, this makes me laugh. TSA, because somebody spent money on creating this. That's why it's so bizarre to me. TSA has created an online tool. So it's a what can I bring search tool. So if you don't know, if you're like, oh, I have these delicious yogurts I want to bring, by the way, no can do with yogurt. There's a search tool that you can put it in there. I think peanut butter. I'm trying to remember.
I think we should find the weirdest things to plug in there. So in the comments, give us some weird things and we'll plug them in together and see if we're going to jail or not.
Cottage cheese, no go.
All the foods.
Oh, this is funny. So my mom was just out here visiting me and like she loves cheese. And this cheese, by the way, is not like that exotic, but for whatever reason, apparently she can't really get it where she lives. And you can get it at the grocery store that's right by my place. And she went the morning of her flight and bought like 4 like
wheels of cheese.
Not quite wheels, but pieces of cheese pie. But 4 chunks of cheese, and she put it in her carry-on, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And they actually like pulled her through in security just to like look at it, and they were like, and I mean, it's my mom, she's like the most innocuous person in the world, so like of course she was making a whole joke about it, but I'm just sitting there like literally imagining like, oh wow,
straight to jail.
I know. And by the way, for everybody that wants to know, it was Purano cheese. If you're a fan of Purano cheese, my mom is a fan with you. So dude,
I love these things. That's why I don't like traveling on planes. I'm not scared of them, but I'd rather travel any other way. Train, car, whatever. We'll figure these things out. Self-driving cars now. It's gonna make things easier.
Oh gosh,
your Tesla.
I got a story for that, but that'll be another day. And no, I did not crash it, but self-driving is not perfect. It's good, but it started turning into another lane and another car was coming and totally honked at me. And I was
all right, Elon Musk, I know you listen to us, so let's make sure we take care of Sarah. I need my co-host.
Elon. Yeah, come on, man. Make sure it works. Oh my gosh, too funny. All right. Well, let's talk about some real-time recaps. Carl, you good?
Yes, I'm good.
I
got some places. So I went to a hotel that I don't usually ever stay at. It never came on my radar. We had a wedding block there this past weekend in Pompano Beach, Florida, which I hadn't been to either. But it was a Home 2 Suites by Hilton. And so we're a little fancy and sometimes I look down on other brands, but I'll tell you what, I checked into this brand new Home 2 Suites Hilton and it was really nice inside. I was actually very surprised. Maybe not all the amenities are luxurious, but the room was well set up and I could see like how it competes with Airbnb now because it had full kitchenette, microwave, and the coolest thing was like, hey, what is this little table that comes out? That was a desk. It was a full dining room table that pulls out and goes back in. And so you could sit up to 4 people at this dining room table in this room. I was like, this is pretty cool design for this room. And it was right on the beach. And everyone was very nice at the hotel. And the front desk was very chill. Like they had arcade games and they just wore t-shirts and everyone had like, for whatever reason, there's a lot of young people there. So purple hair, nose piercings, tattoos, but everyone very chill and very cool. So shout out to Home 2 Suites.
Honestly, like so long as people just, bring their authentic personality and they're nice, like I like it when I can see people have a bit more of themselves and bring themselves to work. I mean, again, we are so past the days of quote unquote stuffy service. And obviously you have to keep in mind the brand. I mean, it's a Home 2 Suite. So like it should have a little bit of like personality to it.
But it was cool. And like, we watched little things. So like I asked for directions to somewhere in the hotel and they didn't just say, oh, it's over there. They came out from the front desk, open hand pointed. Let me guide you to where it is. I was like, this is wild. All right.
Okay.
Forbes checked training in there somehow. So they did a great job.
Well, okay. So they definitely, they're doing something with their training.
Yeah. Shout out to the Home 2 Suites in Pompano Beach.
Yeah, definitely. Huge shout out to them. Well, my real-time recap was actually at my old stomping grounds. I worked there back in the day, the Peninsula, Beverly Hills.
2 opposite ends of the spectrum here.
I know. I was going to say that. I was like, I do stay at Home 2 Suites. Like, okay. Guys,
I never have. I'm usually kind of a little stuffy, but.
No, you
But hey, I'm interrupting you. I love the Peninsula brand. So tell me what happened.
No. So what I love, so I was there because I happen to have a friend staying there, and they've launched this new experience, actually kind of going back to what we were originally talking about, this partnership. And they've done this partnership with Laurent Perrier, for those that might be familiar. It's champagne.
Champagne.
Exactly. And they've got this wonderful experience that they're doing for the next couple of weeks through till almost the middle of December, where they have these special tastings that they're doing. And it's such a beautiful like blending of these two brands. They took actually one of their private dining rooms and they've completely redecorated it. So if you walk in, it sort of feels like you're walking into some sort of French chateau.
Ooh, I like it.
So yeah, and they've got the right music because they actually even did so much a study that they found that, even like listening to like classical music, for example, enhances the experience while you're doing a tasting of, something like champagne. So they really thought of everything, but it was such this cool way of taking these two brands and really like creating a special experience. And then obviously people can certainly order if they're doing the high tea or with dinner as well too, but it's so unique and people locally can do it. So you don't necessarily just have to be staying there, but I love what they're doing. I love that, it's an experience within the experience. Obviously the Peninsula Beverly Hills is an experience in and of itself, but within it, you've got this whole Laurent Perrier tasting I've been familiar with the brand, but to experience it in this way, it gave it some more personality for me. And so now when I'm thinking about champagnes to either order or buy or gift, I'm like, oh, definitely that's the route I'm going to go. So
I love doing those things. That was one of my favorite things to do. And you were I saw you having a good time. I think you were with our friend Scott Eddy over there, right? So
I was.
Shout out, Scott. I hope you're watching. We know you always support.
Scott Eddy. Oh, it's always a good time with him. And he loves to make fun. So by the way, I'm not a big drinker. And so he always loves to be like, ooh, Sarah, okay. He calls me grandma. He's like, okay, grandma, did you have enough to drink?
A hater.
I know. It's
but
all right.
I love that they're doing that. It was one of my favorite things to do when I was director of food and beverage was doing unique pop-ups and activations with cool brands. Those are always fun to do.
Yeah, super cool. So if you've seen any interesting ones, let us know because I think that's it adds something more to the whole experience. So definitely a fan of that. Well, our hospitality quote.
Can I do it
you
today?
Ready for this? You ready?
I like this one today.
Why don't you say it?
I'm going to say it. A hotel should relieve travelers of their insecurity and loneliness. It should make them feel warm and cozy. And that is Bill Kimpton, who we opened the show with Kimpton Hotels.
Yeah, right. What I liked about this is, especially when you think about like business travelers who are like always on the road and always do it, it can get lonely at times. Or maybe they're like solo traveling and it's like they want to feel, it's this notion of you want to feel like you're home away from home. So I love that he kind of broke it down in this way because it's this, isn't that what hospitality is? You just want to make people feel warm and cozy.
It's true. And their hotels do a good job of it with like their wine hours that they do where they get everyone in the hotel together with some complimentary wine for an hour.
Yeah.
And I just like what Kimpton Hotels does. And you can see that he believes it in himself. They do a great job making you feel that way.
Yeah, no, it's great. And it's, again, it kind of like, it gives a sense of personality to the hotel. And that's what travelers are seeking nowadays. So what are you doing or what is your property doing to make the space feel like this safe haven for your travelers?
Yeah.
Something simple.
And even just building community. How are you getting other guests that might be solo travelers to meet each other and have an opportunity to connect with someone locally? A lot of ways to do it.
A lot of ways to do it. Wow. Oh my gosh. Where did the time go? How have we gone through this entire show so quickly?
But I got to say, I do miss our live chats with our live viewers. So please leave the comments so we can respond as we're all watching it together.
Exactly.
And it'll be fun. And I do have one thing I got to give a shout out to. I have my second networking event, hospitality networking event.
Yes.
On November 14th at the FIU Hospitality School, where we're going to have leaders across the hospitality industry, not just hotels, all meeting. So we're almost sold out. We have about 30 out of the 250 tickets left to get.
Woo.
So if you're out there and want to meet in person in Miami, November 14th, I'd love to see you there.
Oh my God, love that. And by the way, if you happen to be doing one in December, maybe I'll make my way over there and can join you for live because
we'll do our own. We'll do our own. We'll invite some cool people. When you come to Miami, we'll do a good one.
We'll do our own meetup. We'll make it happen. Again, I told you we're going to bring the show on the road, kids. So
it's happening.
It's definitely happening. I got my passport. We're good to go. Whoa, passport. Okay, maybe we'll start
mine renewed first. Yeah, let's start in the U.S. I don't have my passport. I'm waiting on it.
Stop. Wait, are you waiting for it to come in?
Yeah, I have my pictures right here. They're sitting on my desk, people. I got to send the pictures in.
Wait, are you smiling or not smiling?
I'm serious. This is what's happening. I got to get my passport.
No. Are you smiling or not smiling in your photo?
Oh, I smile.
Okay, good. Supposedly you're not supposed to smile.
Really?
So you're not supposed to smile. So when I sent mine in, I actually sent a smiling photo and a not smiling photo. And I said, can you please use the smiling photo? And they did. So yeah.
I think I have a smirk, like a.
Oh, cool. We have the eyebrow and everything. Oh my gosh. We're so silly. Anyway, everybody who's listening, make sure you have your passports and they're up to date. There you go. Yes. That's your PSA for today.
We'll be doing our show, but make sure if you enjoyed this episode, like we always hope you do, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, give us a rating. Mm-hmm. We love seeing those comments on all the streaming platforms. Totally. And you can also follow us on our social medias, Instagram. You got Ask a Concierge over here doing great things on Instagram. You can follow me, Steve L. Turk, or the Hospitality Mentor. Love to see you there.
Exactly. And as always, you have questions or topics, things that you want to see us do a deep dive into. Maybe you even have somebody that could be a potentially cool guest. We like to bring on people sometimes. So let us know. Reach out to us anywhere on social media. Sign up for the GMC report. You can go to goodmorninghospitality.com. You can sign up there to just stay up to date with that. And, as Steve said, like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, tell your mama, shout it from the rooftops. Oh my gosh, your bell. Oh, and that, kids, is time.
Have a great week, everybody.
See you next week.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.